Ever feel like you're kind of on autopilot with food? You know it's healthy, but then, bam, stress hits, and suddenly,
Chips.
exactly, elbow deep in a bag of chips. If that sounds familiar, trust me, you are so not alone.
Hmm.
Today's deep dive, it's all about taking back control, ditching the whole diet dogma thing and really exploring mindful eating.
And what's so fascinating here is that mindful eating, while it might seem trendy, actually has roots going way back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, ancient Buddhist traditions.
Wow.
Mindfulness, meditation, all that practiced for centuries.
Seriously, so we're talking about like wisdom that stood the test of time here, not just another flash-in-the-pan diet fad.
Exactly. It's about taking that same present moment awareness that you have in meditation and bringing it to something we do every single day, multiple times a day, eating.
Okay, that's a really cool connection. But gotta ask, is there like actual science backing this up, or is it more of a feel-good philosophy? You know me, I'm all about the evidence.
Oh, the evidence is definitely there. Studies are showing that when we eat mindfully, it actually activates specific parts of our brain, like the prefrontal cortex, responsible for self-control.
Huh.
It's like giving your brain a workout in willpower, which, can really help regulate those cravings.
Hold on. Are you saying that by simply paying attention to what I'm eating, I could potentially outsmart my afternoon chocolate cravings? Because if so, that changes everything.
It's not about deprivation, though.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's about awareness. And get this, research even links mindful eating to, better digestion.
Really? I always figured digestion was more about what you eat, not the how.
It's both. It really is. When you slow down, you actually taste your food, you chew it thoroughly, you're giving your digestive system a break. Literally, it's like hitting the pause button in the middle of your meal and allowing your body to do its thing.
Okay. You've officially blown my mind. So knowing how good this is for us mentally and physically, let's get practical. In our crazy busy world, who has time for, hour-long mindful eating ritual?
Right. Well, you'd be surprised how simple yet effective the techniques can actually be.
Yeah.
Your source material highlights 3 key practices. Eating slowly, really tuning into those hunger cues, and engaging all of your senses.
Okay. Those definitely resonate with me. But engaging all my senses, what does that even practically look like in a busy day? Am I composing haikus about my lunch now?
Not quite. Think about, savoring the aroma of your coffee.
Oh, yeah.
Before you even take that first sip.
Okay.
That's engaging your senses, noticing the colors of your food, the textures, even the sounds your food makes as you eat it. Imagine biting into, a crisp apple, hearing that crunch. Suddenly you're present.
I can see how that would make you so much more present during a meal. And it makes me think of something else the material mentioned, creating a calm eating environment.
Yes, that's key. Minimizing those distractions. Step away from your screen, silence your phone, maybe even light a candle. It's about creating that space where you can actually savor the experience.
It's amazing how those small shifts can make a world of difference. But what about those times when, life throws a curveball and you find yourself, I don't know, staring down a mountain of stress with a bag of chips in hand? You know those moments when mindfulness just goes out the window?
We've all been there.
Right.
You're not alone. But your source material actually offers some great strategies for navigating these real-life challenges. Meal prepping, for one. Lifesaver when time is tight, and packing mindful snacks so you can avoid those, impulsive vending machine raids.
Yes. Meal prepping is a game changer. I am all about it. But what about emotional eating? Any tips for, breaking that cycle?
It's about addressing the root cause of those emotions, not just masking them with food. The mindful eating checklist your material talks about, it's a really great tool for this. It prompts you to check in with yourself before, during, and after your meals.
Love a tangible tool like that. So helpful. I'm all about practical strategies.
Me too. Because it brings the awareness, am I actually hungry? Or am I trying to soothe something else?
Yeah. So instead of reaching for that bag of chips when stress hits, maybe I try a quick meditation or a walk instead.
Exactly. Find what works for you.
This is already so insightful. But I'm curious what something else the material touched on, that connection between our emotions and the food choices we make.
Oh, that's huge. Such an important part of mindful eating. Unpacking those often subconscious links between how we feel and what we choose to eat.
So it's not just about the mechanics of eating, but the psychology behind it as well.
Precisely.
We're going to dive deep into that connection right after a quick message. Don't go anywhere.
And we are back, exploring mindful eating and all that goes with it. Before the break, we were talking about how our emotions and our food choices, they're connected.
Mhm.
It's like sometimes our feelings hijack our stomachs, right?
Yeah.
Like driving us right to the pantry.
Yes, exactly. I know I've definitely used like a pint of ice cream to numb out after a crazy day. But it sounds like mindful eating isn't about beating ourselves up over those choices, right?
Exactly. You're so right. And actually, that is a crucial point. Your source material really emphasizes self-compassion. It's not about, guilt or striving for some unrealistic ideal of quote unquote perfect eating.
Right.
It's about recognizing those moments without judgment
Yeah.
and just like making a different choice next time.
Love that. Progress over perfection takes the pressure off.
Totally.
But it also makes me think like mindful eating, fantastic, but just one piece of the puzzle, wouldn't you say?
100%. It's not about overhauling your whole life in one day. And your material really stresses that. It highlights how mindful eating really works best when it's part of a holistic approach to health.
Okay, so we're talking about integrating it with other like healthy habits.
Exactly. Like think of mindful eating as the foundation, right? It's about nourishing your body from the inside out. And then we build on that foundation with those other practices, moving our bodies, how we manage stress, getting enough sleep, you know, even nurturing those social connections that bring us joy.
I love that. It's incredible how interconnected all these elements of well-being are. It's true.
It really is. And it's about finding that sweet spot, that balance that works for you. And speaking of resources,
Yeah.
your source material had that great list of helpful tools. Was there anything that stood out to you?
Definitely. The Insight Timer app really
Yeah.
caught my eye. I've heard really great things about it. For guided meditations and stuff, it seems like a really great way to weave mindfulness into daily life, not just at meal times. Have you ever used it?
I have. Yeah, it's an excellent resource. I think it highlights how mindfulness isn't, confined to our plates. It's about cultivating that deeper awareness of ourselves,
Yeah.
And the world around us.
Couldn't agree more. So as we wrap up this deep dive into mindful eating, what's one final, I don't know, thought-provoking nugget we can leave our listeners with as they embark on their own journeys?
That's a good question. How about, as you go about your day, consider how simply slowing down during your next meal might change not just what you taste, but how you feel.
Wow, that really is a powerful thought to end on. It's amazing how, one small shift, just slowing down, can have such a ripple effect
It's true.
on our whole relationship with food, ourselves even.
And what's so great about mindful eating, it's a journey, not a destination.
So
Just not about this perfect endpoint,
Yeah.
but just bringing that curiosity and the compassion to every meal, every bite, every moment.
I love that.
Always something new to discover.
You've given us so much to think about today,
feels-
seriously. This deep dive has been incredible. I, for one, feel like I have a whole new set of tools
That's great.
and new perspectives to bring to my own plate, literally.
It was my pleasure exploring all of this with you. And remember, every mindful bite, it's a step, toward a healthier, happier you.
I love that. And on that note, we'll wrap up this episode of The Deep Dive. We hope this deep dive has made you think, inspired you to maybe savor your meals with a bit more awareness, and just, I don't know, maybe rediscover the joy of simply eating. Until next time,